Your reaction.
What is up, Man Hour Nation? We are all in. Hang on, I got it. Sorry about that. I forgot to push pause. But guys, we are all in. We are all in, says Jerry Jones. We are all in. And he said, we're all in. I'm Patrick Mahomes, and we're all in again. Now, I'm a Cowboys fan. I ain't going front. I like me some Dallas Cowboys. I actually have a Dallas Cowboys football right there. Right. See right there? Yep. I got me a Micah Parsons jersey. I got me a Dak Prescott jersey. I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan because my uncle was a Cowboys fan. I want to be just like my uncle. I thought my uncle was the coolest thing in the world. But the State of the Union, or the State of the Cowboys that Jerry Jones put on yesterday, right? Was it 2 days ago now? Whatever it was. 45 minutes of him just babbling around. I'm not going to lie, I would rather listen to Joe Biden and President Trump do another debate about who can carry their own golf clubs. Dallas Cowboys, I love you. Love you like a brother, fuck you like a sister, but y'all need to figure your boy out. Let's just be honest. Y'all need to figure your boy out right now because quite frankly, what is wrong with your boy?
Mike's thoughts.
Alrighty, guys. So this is AFC South Friday edition, recap edition. We got some burning questions that need to be answered out there. We covered all 4 teams. We've covered all, 36 plus another 18 games. Plus, Colts was a little different. We kind of just touched on the Colts a little bit, and then I had to go get the little man off of the bus. But today, if you guys got burning questions about the AFC South, if you want to know what the South is going to bring to the NFL, drop them down in the question below. I got 4 questions that I've seen a lot over the last few days, and a lot of people coming at me with my predictions and being this and being all crazy, right? But before we get too carried away, we got to welcome James Frank to the chat. What's up, James Frank? Says, what is good, Man Hour? James, hope you have a grand old day, my man. Hope you have a grand old day. You also got James Chamberlain in the chat as well. He says, going to see Must TV when Jerry steps away. Yeah. Now, Jerry Jones obviously won't ever sell the team, right? His son will just continue that general manager role, but in a spread capacity. But when Jerry Jones is no longer to be able to be in front of the cameras and make sense and whatever, the Dallas Cowboys are completely done. I don't even know what to say about Jerry Jones. It is tough. It is tough. But guys, enough about Dallas Cowboys. Enough about Jerry Jones. Let's talk a little bit about the AFC South. John's in the chat as well. What's up, John? The AFC South, guys. These are my official standings that I think the AFC South is going to render up this season. I do have the Titans winning the division at 10-7, 4-2 in the division. Colts coming in second, tied for first place, but tiebreakers and all this other stuff. 10-7, 3-3 in the division. The Houston Texans come back in third place at 9-8, 2-4 in the division, including a sweep by the Tennessee Titans. And then the Jaguars coming in last place at 7-10 with a 3-3 conference record. Now, I fat fingered it yesterday, and for some reason I put Titans at 10-8, whatever. I'm sorry about that. I messed up. They are 10-7. They're 10-7. Have them 10 wins, 7 losses this season. Before we get too carried away, guys, what do you guys think about these standings right here? Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? I can tell you right now off the bat, a lot of people disagree with them. A lot of people do not like the Texans sitting at third. A lot of people do not think the Texans are going to be not winning that division again. A lot of people think that the Texans are the mans, the myth, the legends, right? And so that is one of the first burning questions that we have here right off the bat. Are the Texans going to repeat in the South? Do the Texans have a chance to repeat in the South? I mean, clearly they have a chance, right? Clearly they have a chance to repeat. They got better this offseason. Let's just be honest. They got better this offseason. They added Stephon Diggs, a great wide receiver. How he's going to fit into that young core, to be determined, right? They picked up Joe Mixon and Cam Akers, adding depth to that running back room. Another year with DeMeco Ryans. I'm sorry. Another year under the belt where C.J. Stroud picked up Danielle Hunter. They got better. They weren't sleeping in the offseason like the Dallas Cowboys. They were out there pounding the streets, getting better, and actually working hard. The reason that I think they will not repeat as AFC South champions is because last season they wouldn't have won the division if Trey Sermon would have caught that pass for the Indianapolis Colts to basically seal the game. Very last play of the game, wide open, hit him in his hands. He turned, made a step, and just dropped the pass. Ridiculous, right? The Colts would have won the division, went to the playoffs, won the South. Ultimately, the Texans did do it. Now, when I say that the Texans will not repeat, it's not because they're a bad team. I want to put that emphasis out there. I believe in a speech class long ago, we said we had to say something 3 times for you to catch on to it. So let me tell you it for you 3 times in a row here. Texans are not that bad. Texans are not that bad. The Texans are not that bad. But the rest of the division got better. Titans got hell of a lot better. Arguably the best receiving core in the South, if not the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts, if healthy, going to be pretty unstoppable. Keyword there, if healthy. That's topic number 2 coming up. But the Houston Texans, guys, not only did the rest of the division get better, their schedule sucks. Let's just be honest. They got a hard-ass schedule. Week number 1, they're at Indianapolis. I believe it was Ant that said C.J. Stroud and AR is going to be must-see TV for many, many years to come. Exactly right. Must-see TV week 1 on the road. Then you play the Chicago Bears. Then you play a Vikings team that could shock some people. And then you play the Buffalo Bills, a good Buffalo Bills team, a great Packers team, a great Colts team, a Jets team that is totally up in the air. They could be really good or really bad depending on Aaron Rodgers' health, right? Then you play the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City Chiefs, and then the Ravens. Those are all potential losses in this season. Most of them I have as losses. So that is why the Texans will not repeat in the South, is not because they're not a good team. They are a good team. They could potentially be a great team, but their schedule is tough. It is a tough schedule, baby. Damn. John says, I agree, but I think the Jaguars will lose a few more. The Jaguars are a tough cookie to crack, right? When we talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars here, I think it's topic number 3 that I have, segment 3. They are honestly a tough cookie to crack. I don't like the Jaguars at all. 7 wins, I was like, I honestly think they're probably a 4 or 5 win team. They picked off a couple of Ravens, Darby to add to that secondary, right? They picked up Gabe Davis. The Jaguars are just a tough cookie to really understand. But they probably do get a few more losses. Ant says, I disagree. He says, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. The Titans are not winning that division. Let me pop those games back up for you. Ant says the Titans are not winning the division. If it's not the Titans, Ant, then who is it? I mean, obviously the Texans have a really good opportunity. 9 wins, and first place is at 10 wins, right? They beat the Titans one time this season. That could move them from 3rd place to first place. The AFC South might be the best division in football. I know we're talking very, very high. What was that? Get off there. My watch is talking to me. I know we're talking very, very high of the AFC North, which we'll be breaking down next week, Ant. But the AFC South is so slept on that if you overlook them, they're going to come up and bite you in the ass. Whether it's the Jaguars, whether it's the Colts, Titans, and Texans. Stop sleeping on the AFC South, guys. They are a freaking good division. Good division. John says, I do have the Titans and Colts switched up, though. I think the Colts win the division. And, John, I do have to agree with you. When I first started to kind of break down the schedule in my mind, I'm like, yes, the Colts are going to win the division. But then I went to my V2 playoff predictor here, and I started picking the wins and the losses, and the tiebreaker went to the Tennessee Titans. Now, just like the Titans, right? Or the Texans even. One win here, one loss here could move them from first place to fourth place. The AFC South is really, really, really tight. So to tell me that the Colts could win the division, absolutely. I would be on board with that 100%. To tell me that the Texans are going to win the division, 100%, I agree with that. The Jaguars win the division, 100%, I agree with that. Anybody in this division can win. Can win. One win here, one loss there, shakes everything up. Shakes everything up. But I do not think that the Texans will ultimately repeat this season because they do got a lot of light on them. They got a lot of pressure on them. CJ Stroud, sophomore slump, right? Is he going to perform again like the way he did before? Is he going to be able to, not throw an interception until week 13 again? There's a lot of questions surrounding the Houston Texans, and arguably so. James Frank says, I think the Texans either take it or at least second. I think CJ Stroud will know what a sophomore slump is. So if CJ Stroud does have a sophomore slump, James, let's say CJ Stroud comes out week number 1 versus the Colts, kind of has a sluggish game, throws an interception or two, just doesn't find the end zone, just a very sluggish, nasty game, right? Then he rebounds versus the, I think they play the Bears week 2, right? Another sluggish, bad game. The Bears have a sneakily good defense. If the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud does have a sophomore slump, I don't think with the slump you can win the division. I don't think if CJ Stroud has a sophomore slump, meaning he takes a step back this season or 2 steps, kind of gets loose with the football, finds the other team more times than not. That is tough sledding for the Houston Texans because this division is so tight. He cannot have a sophomore slump. He cannot have a sophomore slump. James Chamberlain says, yeah, that schedule is tough. It all depends if CJ gets a sophomore slump. Again, sophomore slump. Sophomore slump is big keys. Big keys this year is sophomore slumps, right? Is Will Levis going to have that sophomore slump? Is Anthony Richardson going to have that sophomore/rookie slump? He's technically still a rookie, I think. Is Trevor Lawrence going to have the contract blues? I got paid. I don't want to play no more. You guys brought up Justin Houston last week, right? We will see. We'll see. Mark D is in the chat. What's up, Mark? Hope you're having a grand old day, man. James right here, speaking the truth. Speaking the truth here. He says the Titans got a hell of a lot better, but we will see how long it takes them to learn the new system. Not only do the Titans have a new quarterback, not only do the Titans have a new number 1 receiver, not only do the Titans have a new number 1 running back, not only do the Titans have a number 1 or a new number 1 defensive player in Janarius Sneed, they also have a new head ball coach. There's a lot of things changing. There's a lot of moving parts in Tennessee. When their first preseason game kicks off, I think it's August 10th, right here in about 15 days. We are going to see a lot of that. We are going to see what kind of offense they're going to have out there. Everything I've seen from practice so far, a lot of spread offense, a lot of 4 wide receivers, a lot of single high back, right? A lot of passing. Running game, what? 10 times a game maybe, right? Titans got a hell of a lot better. And Casey Morgan's in the chat. What's up, Casey? He says this division is going to be fun to watch. This is the first time. I mean, obviously, I am a Chiefs fan at heart. I bleed red. Cowboys is my secondary passive team, right? But I have a lot of eyes this season on the AFC South. I am going to try to catch damn near every Colts and Titans game that I can. I'm going to go to more Colts games this season than I've gone to Chiefs games ever in my life, just this season. We have tickets to 5 or 6 games. We are going to see a lot of Colts games. We're going to see a lot of Titans games this season, and I'm excited for it. This division is going to be freaking good. It's the AFC in general is going to be fun to watch. You got the AFC North, you got the AFC South. Slow it down, guys. Damn. Ant says, I think the Texans will win it, and I agree the AFC South might be the second best division in football. AFC North is number 1. Do you guys remember a couple years ago when Russell Wilson came to the Denver Broncos? Justin Herbert was with the Chargers. Derek Carr was with the Las Vegas Raiders. Patrick Mahomes is coming off another MVP season. Many people pegged the AFC West to be the best division in football. Everybody's going to make the playoffs. Everybody's going to have 10, 11 wins. It's going to be a freaking amazing time. Bottom fell out. Broncos sucked. The Raiders sucked. The Chargers were average. I could potentially see that from the AFC North this season, Ant. I could potentially see the Bengals being the bottom of the barrel. I could potentially see the Browns being the bottom of the barrel. I could potentially see the Ravens being the cream of the crop. I could see the Pittsburgh Steelers being just average. The South has so much more upside than the North, I think. James says, not to mention the Titans are going to be watching their new stadium being built right next door. They will draw inspiration off of that. Yeah, I can see it. Colts will definitely make the playoffs. I actually have them as the 7th seed making the playoffs as a wild card. I do think the AFC South potentially gets 2, if not 3 playoff spots, depending on the AFC North, right? I can see that. John Pebbles is in the chat. What's up, John? Top fan and CEO of the Pigskin Pundits. If you guys would like to become a Pigskin Pundit, click on the subscribe button below. You get free merch. You get free giveaways. You get free. You get pre-show. You get after show. Any NFL game you want to watch, you say, hey, Buck, I want to watch the Miami Dolphins, but I'm in Nashville this week and they're not on TV. Can you air it? I got you, man. We'll air it right here just for you if you're a Pigskin Pundit. James says, I don't think Levis will be because he was the QB controversy all last year. I'm not for sure what you're trying to say there, James. Not for sure what you're trying to say. But it is what it is. And it says, if Malik Willis had lived up to the hype, just imagine how dangerous that Titans offense would be. Their offense is really legit. So listen, I think Will Levis is a better fit for that Titans offense. Even if Willis would have lived up to the hype, he is still a scrambling RPO option quarterback, right? The Titans don't want to run that type of offense. They have pass catching backs in Tony Pollard and Spears, right? They have downfield threats with Calvin Ridley and D-Hop. They have underneath that guys that could go in the middle and potentially Burks. Many people are calling him a bust. I think that this year he kind of has a breakout year. But yes, the Titans offense is very, very legit. Very, very legit. James says there's a lot of parity league-wide this year. Every game after week 10 is a playoff game. Yeah. We have a lot of potential playoff preview games. Hell, we have a lot of potential Super Bowl preview games too, right? We do have the Texans versus the Lions, the Texans versus the Cowboys, right? They have the Colts versus the Packers. There's a lot of good games out there this season. Ryan's in the chat. He has I think I think that's a rising fan or something. I'm not for sure what that dime with the lines mean. But Ryan, welcome to the chat, man. It says, let's go. Let's go, baby. Slow it down. And James says, no sophomore slump for Levis. Still has a lot of rookie juice in him. Correct. Same with Anthony Richardson, right? They're both technically second-year players, but they did not play a lot. Obviously, Anthony got hurt, week 3. Will Levis was in and out of the lineup with Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis. They didn't know what they're doing with their hands most of the season last year. But yeah, I get it. But I do not think the Houston Texans guys will repeat in the South. Like I said, I ultimately think it's going to be the Titans that win the South. But the second burning question that I had, we spoke on this yesterday, right? I gave you guys 3 players that have to stay healthy for the Indianapolis Colts to be successful. And so many people were in my inbox saying, well, of course, that's for every team, right? Every team has to stay healthy. I mean, obviously, if your quarterback goes down, you're going to suck. If your number 1 receiver goes down, you are going to suck. You are correct. You are 100% correct on all those people that got into my inbox and told me that. Yes, you are correct. But it is even bigger for the Indianapolis Colts. It's even bigger for the Indianapolis Colts because their depth on their team sucks. Let's be flat out honest. The depth on the Indianapolis Colts suck. If Braden Smith goes down, who are you going to put in there? Braden Smith is the right tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. He has not given up a sack in 2 straight seasons. Actually, I think it's 3 straight seasons. I re-looked it up. 3 straight seasons. Has not allowed a sack. His backup, that played a majority of the season last year because Braden Smith was hurt, averaged a sack every 10 dropbacks. Every 10 dropbacks that his backup was defending, he allowed a sack. So you go from a starting right tackle that doesn't allow a sack for 2 straight seasons to a backup that's given up a sack every 10 dropbacks. There is a huge, huge drop-off between starting right tackle and and then backup right tackle. Same thing with the receiving core. Michael Pittman Jr. When he is in there, when Michael Pittman Jr. starts and finishes the game, the Indianapolis Colts offense is a totally different offense. They're averaging 20-plus points a game, 300-plus yards on offense. Last season, he missed a couple games, right, with concussion protocol, concussion-like symptoms. That particular game, Gardner Minshew, 100 yards passing. 100 yards passing in that game. He had his starting offensive line. He had Jonathan Taylor. The only part missing was Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr.'s backup, actually just the rest of the receiving core for the Indianapolis Colts is let's just say unproven. Unproven. You do have Mo Alley Cox, right? A decent tight end. Can he carry a team for you? Absolutely not. He cannot carry a team for you. Not at all, right? You, Alec Pierce. Can he truly be a number 1 receiver for you? No, he can't. The health of the Indianapolis Colts is more important than anybody else in the NFL because their backups are that bad. They have zero depth. Depth is lacking. James Chamberlain says that is amazing stat about Braden Smith forgetting the backup's name. Man, why cannot I remember the backup's name? Is it Freeland? I think Freeland is the backup's name. The roster isn't pulling up for me. My API must be screwed up, but it is what it is. Jim Powell is in the chat. The CFO of Pigs Getting Pundit says Kelsey is going to learn from Bowers. Going to learn from Bowers, he says. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Garner's going to rip up this season. You are right, Ryan. You are right. He's going to rip up this season. He's going to be ripping up a lot of playbooks on the sideline because he's going to be sitting behind Adrian O'Connell all season long. Adrian O'Connell is going to suck monkey balls all season long. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to have 3 wins, potentially going into Week 16. And oh, by miracle, we want to tank and we're going to win the last game of the season. Gardner Minshew, guys, is a decent stop-fill quarterback. Gardner Minshew could potentially be one of the best backups in the NFL. He is not a starter. Okay? Gardner Minshew is not a starter. That's no knock on Gardner Minshew, just some people are not meant to be starters. Chase Daniels, long-term backup for the Kansas City Chiefs and went over to the Arizona Cardinals last season, right? I think he started 1 year in the NFL, was freaking horrible. But every time he came in relief for the Kansas City Chiefs when Patrick Mahomes dislocated his kneecap or did this or did that, Chase Daniels came in and won football games. Hell, last season when the Kansas City Chiefs were really down on their luck, I want to say it was before Christmas game because obviously they lost the Raiders game, but Patrick Mahomes sprains his ankle right before the last drive going into halftime. Insert Chase Daniels. He orchestrates a great drive down the field. Gets him a touchdown, actually, I think, if I remember correctly. Gardner Minshew is that type of guy. He comes in and gives you a spark for a quarter, for a game, potentially 2 games. There's a reason why the Jaguars let him go. There's a reason why the Indianapolis Colts let him go. There's a reason why he's listed as backup as the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback right now. He's not bad. Just a good stop-fill guy. James says, I can't name a single receiver besides Pittman. You got Pierce, I think is Antonio Pierce, right? Gold. What's his name? Anthony Gold. Then you have Mo Alley Cox, which is a tight end. You have another tight end. I wish my freaking thing would pull up. Is it Granderson? Granderson, maybe? I'm not for sure. But yeah, really the Colts receiver core is pretty much unknown, right? Because you do have Michael Pittman Jr. That is a jack of all trades, master of none. But Michael Pittman Jr. is great over the middle. Gets popped a lot, gets injured a lot, but hangs on to the ball. He can go down the field, not a lot of separation, but he's going to go up and going to get you the ball. The man's like 6'5" or something. Really, really good receiver. Nice big body receiver. Oh, finally load. Cleveland as well. I forgot about Cleveland. He's like a number 5 receiver. And Ant says, nope, Pierce might not even be a number 2. Josh Downs is very underrated. Very underrated. And isn't Josh Downs the guy you told me to go watch film on a little while ago? I'm actually going to Colts camp this weekend. Actually, as soon as we're done here, we're going to head up there, catch the last part of Big Ten Media Days, and then watch some Colts camp. But yeah, we'll see. Ryan says Bowers is going to learn that the NFL is a whole different game. So Jim, John, Ryan, I don't know if you guys are a Raiders fans, but all you Raiders fans out there, you guys are in for a very, very rude awakening. You guys are in for a very rude awakening this season. There are sometimes that players look great on paper. There are sometimes players like Brock Bowers should come in and change the game. Do you know why teams like the great Alabama teams could not ever beat the 0-16 Cleveland Browns teams, right? When the Crimson Tide rolled with the elephant on the head, stupid Bama, but whatever. When they were like 36-0 for 3 straight seasons with two straight national championships, There's a reason why they could not ever compete with a team like the Cleveland Browns, even though they were 0-16 getting blown out all the time. It's because a NFL team has all professional players. A college team has a handful of professional players. I think even at their peak, Bama only had 7, right? Maybe 8. Brock Bowers is going to learn that there are other teams out there that are going to shut him down. They're going to shut him down and make him work for everything. And when you have a quarterback like Adrian O'Connell, I keep talking down on the man, but he might be a great backup quarterback. He's not a starter. He's not going to push the ball down the field. He's not going to make you better. There's a reason why Davante Adams wants out. You can say what you want. It's all rumors. It's all hearsay. He wants out. Davante Adams wants out of Las Vegas. Michael Gallup retired so he could get out of Las Vegas. Brock Bowers is going to be the same thing. Now, Brock Bowers will not forever be bad. Brock Bowers will take time to develop, and he could be a top tight end in the NFL come year 3, if not year 4. You know what made Travis Kelce? Travis Kelce was a great quarterback. Yes, he had Tyreek Hill around him. Yes, he had MVS. Yes, he had Juju, right? But Travis Kelce really didn't start to make a name for himself until Patrick Mahomes made a name for himself. He needs a good tight end. The Las Vegas Raiders need Dak Prescott. Need Dak Prescott. Matt Henry's in the chat. What is up, Matt? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon. Jim Puckett was a stopgap fill guy. Won 2 Super Bowls. Clearly, he wasn't a stopgap fill guy. Get out of here with that. And Kurt Warner was sacking groceries, smashed the Super Bowl MVP the next year. Also with an amazing team. The greatest show on turf, right? Well, you had Marshall Faulk, you had Torrey Holt, you had arguably one of the best coaches ever for that year, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Could it have been just the rest of the NFL sucked that whole year? I don't know. Matt says, Indy has Josh Downs, the older brother of Caleb Downs, the number 1 safety in college football. Okay, there's a lot of brothers right now making it into the NFL. And a lot of dads, right, that we used to know back in the day, I think Major League Baseball, like at one point, had 7 father-son duos, like on playing for the same teams, crazy like that. But yeah. Ant says, yeah, watch him and Jelani Woods, the other tight end. We'll see. Jim says, if the line gels, it wouldn't matter if Jimmy G was back there. Right? Because Jimmy G is a great quarterback. You Raiders just don't like to win, Jim. We understand you Raiders don't like to win, so you make an excuse. You said, oh, my line's injured, so we're going to protect Jimmy G from himself, or Jimmy G's hurt, or, hey, let's fire Chucky from emails from 20 years ago. Raiders are just scared to win. Let's just call it how it is, Jim. Jim, Ryan, John, all you Raiders fans out there, let's call it the way it is. The Las Vegas Raiders are scared to win. They're scared to win. Every year, first half of the season, doing great, 6-2, looking good, things are looking up. Hey, let's lose the rest of the eight games because, God forbid, we make the playoffs. We don't know what to do with our hands. We don't know what to do with our hands. In Heineke, we trust. I do listen to some Heineke. Ryan says, the whole T. Kelce thing boggles my mind. The guy is slow as hell. How does he get open? So let me tell you a story here, Ryan. I was a junior in high school. I ran roughly a 4.5 40. I wasn't the fastest guy, but I wasn't the slowest guy either. But the quarterback on the opposing team, this team was the Silver Lake Eagles. 3-time state championship in a row. They were in our division. They were our arch rival. They had a quarterback by the name of Kyle Kruger. This kid was slower than molasses. This kid ran like a 5-second flat 40-yard dash. My son right now could probably chase his ass down and tackle him. But he was so decisive is that the word, right? So like his legs would move so slow. You're like, man, this guy runs like a 7-second 40-yard dash. But by the time you got to him, he had such long strides that 2 steps were like 5 to mine, and I'm 6'3", and he's like, what? And then I had to end up chasing his ass down. Just those tall, lanky guys that take those long-ass strides are really, really hard to judge actually how fast or how slow they are. And I think that's why Travis Kelce does get open so much. Also, he does have a linebacker on him 9 times out of 10 with option routes. So even the best lockdown corner, right, can be looking in his eyes. You look 1 second back at the quarterback, and he sees you looking that way, and he goes that way, wide open. But yeah, you are correct. He is slow. He's big. Doesn't look very agile, but those nice long strides, head smarts, get you open, right? Get you open. James says Warner played a lot in the Arena League. When he got that huge field with those weapons, it was cake for him. So, James, as a former indoor football league, I played for the IFL, played on the Omaha Barn Burners. The indoor football game is totally different than 11-man. So usually on 11-man field, you're looking like your deep route first and then check down short, right? As quarterback, you want to be quick hitters all the time. If your quick hitters there, boom, get it, scamper up the field. If the short's not there, the medium's not there, then you're going deep as your last option. Plus, you have nets over the field, right? You have nets over the field at probably 30, 40 feet tall. You get that ball up there, gets caught in the net. So you got to kind of throw a laser. So being a defensive player, it took me a long time to adjust because I am used to running backs trying to beat me on the outside. I 45 degree angle it, meet him at the line of scrimmage. Well, on an indoor field, it goes from 43 yards wide to 20 yards wide. So your 45 degree angle cuts down to about a 25 degree angle, and then you're missing tackles. So I understand what you're saying, but it is a huge difference. Even from the Canadian League to like 11-man, even with those 5 extra yards and on like either side and that 12th man, it's just it is so much different when you add 8 guys to 11 guys to 12 guys to 6 guys. It is tough. I mean, it's very, very, very tough. Ryan is a Broncos fan. My apologies. Hopefully the Broncos can win more than 3 games this season. We will see. James also says Kelce has a burst game speed. He's fast as hell for the first 5 yards off the ball. That is correct. There is such thing out there, guys, called speed and game speed, right? There are players out there that can run super fast, right? We have a kid on our high school team, I think he tops out about 20 miles an hour, runs about a 4.4 40-yard dash, flies, right? You put the helmets and pads on him, he's about a 4.7. That game speed, calculating, right? You get that game speed in you. If you can run that 4.4 with those shoulder pads on and the helmet on, it's a whole different ball game. Me personally, when I put my helmet on and shoulder pads on, I got faster because I ran with a purpose. My job was to take your head off and put your dick in the dirt as fast as I can, as hard as I can, as long as I can. That probably sounded bad, but game speed is a hell of a lot better than actual worse speed, right? Worse speed. Kelce and Smith was a good tight end. Kelce with Mahomes is a great tight end. Yes. Alex Smith was a definite game managing quarterback. He was not going to make Alex Smith was a really, really good quarterback, right? He was a quarterback that would not win you games, but not lose you games either. If you put him in the right position, he's going to give you the proper outcome. If you put him in bad positions, he's going to give you the wrong side of the outcome. He had a problem throwing guys open. That was Alex Smith's biggest things. Jim says, why did you skip over what I said that proved you right about the line being the most important spot on the field? Must have not seen it. My bad, Jim. My bad, dude. I'm sorry. But we talked about the Texans not repeating in the South. We talked about the health of the Indianapolis Colts being the most important thing. But topic number 3, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, I think is just an average team. The Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, are just a team that's just not that good this year. Now, they did add a few pieces, right? They picked up Gabe Davis from the Buffalo Bills. They picked up Darby from the Baltimore Ravens. They also added some few other pieces here, but they are paying people in the wrong position. They are paying people in the wrong positions to really make me open my eyes. When I was preparing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I saw that their defense was pretty bad. Yes, Josh Hines Allen is a good linebacking / defensive end. Really, really good. But when you look at the true secondary, you don't have a true lockdown corner. You don't have a safety that you don't know if he's going to be in the right position. His football IQ seems to be bad. I'm not saying it is bad, just seems to be bad. Makes a lot of wrong decision, a lot of wrong turns, and bada bing, bada boom, DeAndre Hopkins is wide open, right? But the fact that they paid Trevor Lawrence $245 million to be a below-average quarterback just boggles my mind. I ultimately think the Jacksonville Jaguars will win 7 games this season. I think somehow, some way, they sneak out some potential wins that are like, really? Y'all can't beat the New York Jets, but you can go out there and, compete with the Miami Dolphins. You can beat the Colts, but then you lose to the Patriots, and then you beat the Packers, but then you go turn around and lose to the Vikings and lose to the Raiders. Like what? It's just the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys, is a team that is a truly wild card head scratcher. They're just a head scratcher. Travis Etienne, are you ever going to live up to your first round hype? Trevor Lawrence, are you ever going to win another playoff game? Mark Sanchez has more wins than Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars is just not that good. Uh-oh. Breaking news, a dead woman found on 65 South. That's weird. Jim Powell says Jacksonville Jaguars need to make news before they're newsworthy. How can the Jaguars make some news? Do they got to trade Trevor Lawrence to be news, right? Do they got to start Mac Jones to make some news, right? Honestly, that might be the saving grace of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get Trevor Lawrence out of town, send him to Vegas, couple first-round picks, and bada bing, bada boom, you got Mac Jones. Slow it down, baby. We're talking about the Jags because they're in the AFC South, and this is AFC South recap. I know we're talking a lot of BS right now, but speaking of BS, looks like we got some breaking news across the board, guys. Tua just got paid 4 years, $212 million, $167 million guaranteed. Matt Henry said it. James said it. If y'all trolling me, better watch out. But Tua did practice today. Tua did suit up and practice from what I heard. So obviously we kind of knew that negotiations were going in the right way. Mike Daniels said all the right things, right? Got your players in there, Get your money, big dog. But Ant says well-deserved. Tua's money was well-deserved. Really? You guys really think Tua's money is well-deserved? I mean, honestly, what's that? $200 million divided by 4, that's $50 million a season. So $52-ish million a season. I mean, yes, he's a decent quarterback, but honestly, guys, didn't we talk about this last week? Or even when we broke down the AFC East? Is Tua a product of the players around him, or is it Tua? Because if you look about it, when Tua had Brian Flores as a coach, we're not talking about Tua as a MVP, a top 10 quarterback, a top 15 quarterback. We're like, Tua who? Right? We known him for the game. Insert Mike McDaniels. Insert a junior third year Jalen Waddle. Insert Tyreek Hill. Insert a pretty damn good defense. Insert pretty good running backs. Is it well-deserved, though? I mean, obviously, every quarterback is a product of the system. Let's just call it how it is. Every quarterback is a product of the system. Patrick Mahomes, I said it and people bit my head off. It is true. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Without a good system in Kansas City, he would be a below average quarterback. He showed it in college. Tua, first couple years, was it first year two years underneath Brian Flores, the Miami Dolphins were not really relevant. Insert a better system. Product of the system, right? So is Tua now going to be a player that gets paid and doesn't try anymore, or is he going to continue playing good? I think Tua is obviously outside looking in. I'm not an insider of the Miami Dolphins. I don't watch a lot of Miami's Dolphins football. I break down some films so I can respectively talk about them. I don't know. I've never heard him talk in interviews or whatever, right? Tua seems like a player that he does go out there and give it his all. Play after play, game after game. Tua does seem to be that type of player. When I watch film, I don't see him taking off any plays. I don't see him really loafing around. He seems to be giving it his all. So I think he will definitely live up to the money that he is being paid, right? But to be well-deserved, I don't know if that's well-deserved. Well-deserved. Matt says, I'm not a troll, and I'll have to spit facts at you. And, it's because he said Jacksonville loves to overplay players. Yeah. There's a reason why their stadiums are crumbles, right? James is a Dolphins fan, so fins up. And Jim says Tua is required to spend the 3/4 on that on a helmet and someone to remind him of things. Good Lord. Too soon. Matt Henry says, what has Tua or Lawrence done to deserve it? Exactly. Trevor Lawrence has one 28-point comeback victory in the playoffs over the Chargers. A Chargers team that completely shit the bed in that particular game. Don't know how they lost that game, but that's Trevor Lawrence's claim to fame. And Tua has not won a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think last year was his first playoff game, right? Right, guys? Because the previous year, he was injured, right? Insert Skylar Thompson versus the Buffalo Bills. I don't know. The most accurate quarterback in the league is Tua, per Tyreek Hill, right? Tua can put the ball where he wants to. Let's watch some more film. Jordan Love will be the next in the conversation. Yeah, Jordan Love is going to get paid, and yet what has he done, right? 1 year starting, 5th year in the league, does have a playoff win in his first year. I get it. I think Jordan Love's realistically can wait till the end of the season to get his contract. I think they're going to be a 12 to 13 win team, potential NFC championship game. If that were to happen, then Jordan Love deserves his money. But it is what it is. Ant says, I mean, for $167 million guaranteed compared to what Herbert and Lawrence got. Yeah, I get it. Will he hock a Tua this season? Let's hope he doesn't hock it Tua this season. Let's hope he nicely lofts it in there and lets it roll down and gently crests it into the end zone over and over and over. Was that too much? Was that too much? Hey guys, did you know that there's a Red Bull? There's a Red Bull out there with the Hakatua branding on it. I shit you not. I shit you not. What? Says Ryan. Say that again about Patrick Mahomes. Ryan, I will say it. I'll look deeply into your eyes. These are eyes I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been sick, down with the sickness. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. If he would have went to the Chicago Bears, he would have turned out just like Mitchell Trubisky. If he would have went to the Carolina Panthers, he would have turned out just like Bryce Young did last season. If he would have went to, I don't know, Denver Broncos, would have been just like Russell Wilson and your 15 other quarterbacks that you guys have had in the last 6 years. Patrick Mahomes' talent fell into a perfect Kansas City Chiefs system built for a player like Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying he's all the system like Tom Brady is. Tom Brady was nothing but the system. Of course, he grew up and got better, but Tom Brady was nothing but the system for the first 15 years of his career. Yes, it was all Bill Belichick, but Patrick Mahomes was a product of the system. Now he's gotten better, and the system has evolved, and now he can probably go anywhere. But first 4 years, product of the system. Just trying to keep it 100. James Shimon says Flores was the first coach that hated Tua. He wanted a big bruising quarterback, and he wanted to draft Herbert or Love. Tua, I guess last year people were calling him thick, and he got butt hurt and kind of went home, I guess. Casey says my issue with some of these quarterbacks getting paydays is this issue. One, they are made of glass, hasn't finished many seasons. Another, no clue why they're getting paid, Jaguars. And another one has the biggest wide receiver core in the league and is carried. These are all facts. But we spoke with my man Green Bay Greg, right? When we broke down the Green Bay Packers and we talked about the Jordan Love potential contract situation. In the realm that we are living in right now, if you have a above average quarterback, they are going to be the next highest paid quarterback in the NFL, i.e. Daniel Jones. What has Daniel Jones done from the New York Giants? He got paid, right? Honestly, you can say the same thing about Lamar Jackson. Before his payday, he had 0 playoff wins. 0. Granted, he did have an MVP. They had a couple 13-win seasons, but he had 0 playoff wins. Joe Burrow. He took this team to the Super Bowl, but he has been glass. I think Lamar Jackson has more games played than Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson missed what? 6 games a couple years ago. The quarterback market is stupid. It's stupid. Stupid. James says Tua led the league in yards and accuracy last season. It helps when you throw 80 times a game, right? And then he says, we had to go to Kansas City and play below 30 degrees below temperature. Chiefs had to play in the same temperature. I was there. It was actually only 20 below, but I was there. I was there, had a beer that snow coned out on me. I was licking it. James Berlin, another James is in the chat. What's up, Jameses? We had like 5 Jameses in here. Awesome. James says everyone is a system based on what some manage in their system. Tua is a tough one because of his health concerns. Do you want hand 20 to 30% of the cap space to a guy that has health concerns of most of his career? So every quarterback's going to have to demand 25% of your salary cap. Let's just be honest. The 49ers are getting ready to become in Brock Purdy hell here pretty soon. We see these contracts. Tua, Lamar, all this guaranteed money. I found out today that they're offering these guaranteed dollar bills because it only counts against your salary cap for 1 year. So this $200 and some odd million, or what did Tua get? $166 million guaranteed. That's for this year only. Next season doesn't hit the cap. The following year doesn't hit the cap. So teams are starting to play in that gray area, with that guaranteed dollars. But everybody potentially has health concerns, James. Patrick Mahomes dislocated kneecap 3 years ago, right? Sprained ankle in the Super Bowl, or it actually was at the playoffs and lost in the Super Bowl because of his sprained ankle, right? Lamar Jackson. I don't remember why he missed those 6 games a couple years ago, but he has concussion issues, right? The Buffalo Bills banged his head off of the turf. Dak Prescott, that nasty broken ass leg. Every player in the NFL technically has health concerns. That's why you have a good backup like Garner Minshew. Matt Henry says, none of these QBs being overpaid has done nothing. Tua is a play from ending his career. You're right, Matt. But so is Aaron Rodgers. So is Brock Purdy. So is Dak Prescott. Risk and reward. High risk, low reward. James Frank says, ain't nothing wrong with Pat being a system quarterback. Look at those rings, baby. There's nothing wrong with a system quarterback. Nothing wrong with it. When you put a top tier quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, you can put Alex Smith in there as you put them as game managers in there. You think you shit on their dog and pissed on their cat. They're like, Tom Brady is a game manager. Yes, he is. Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback. Yes, he is. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to say you're bad by saying you're a game manager or a system quarterback. That means you're doing something right. You are managing the game and winning a lot of games for your team. The system that you're in with your team is winning you a lot of games. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. He has 1-0 on the field and no one play away from winning his career. Tua. Oh, and Matt brings up a great name. Kyler Murray is another overpaid guy. Deshaun Watson, too. Deshaun Watson got paid based off of 29-19 when they played the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, I'm not mistaken, with the Houston Texans. Tua took some ninja classes, so we're good. We good. He can Hakatua that thing with the Hakahaya. Oh, man. Matt says, I'm praying Caleb is half as good as advertised. We shall see. Did I cover everything? I put 2 topics in one, I guess. Oh, well. It is what it is. Guys, that is going to be it for today. We've had a great week. Great AFC South wrap up. We get carried away. It is what it is. I have a little outline, but guys, it's live, raw, uncut. If we want to talk about Patrick Mahomes and how great he is, we'll talk about it. If I want to talk to you about how bad your Las Vegas Raiders are, we're going to talk about it. This is the only place, guys, where you truly get live, raw, uncut NFL talk every Monday through Friday. The most live, interactive show out there, hands down. With that being said, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning or Monday afternoon, 2:30 East Coast time. Until then, AFC's North is next week. Let's go, baby! We start with the Ravens. We'll start with the Raiders on Monday. Be ready, be ready, be ready. Raiders suck and James, thank you, good stuff. We out, baby.